Hey there, Dr. Brian here on Saturday evening. It's been a great day. Had a great day at work this morning. Lots of fun with lots of people. It was great, nice busy morning. So that's touching more people for the better, which is the whole purpose. The more people I see, the more people I come into contact with, the more people I influence for the better, the more people are living well. So it's always exciting to finish the day knowing that you've had a great day. You've given good advice, you've given good adjustments, you've helped people walk out feeling better than they came in. And that's the purpose. Now, if you're not in my physical space, then I can draw you into my digital space where I can offer you advice and tips that actually can really make a difference for you. So I have been an erstwhile gym goer since my teens, when I was terrifyingly skinny. I remember in the fifth form, which is 15-year-old, Brother Lauren, I think he said, any boys patently under 10 stone, which is 14 ounces in a pound, 16 ounces in a pound, 14 pounds in a stone, so 140 pounds, rough enough. So I was 6'1", 183, 184, and I was under 140 pounds. So that was pretty thin. There was always a lot of jokes going around about, stand side knob will count you absent, put weights on, lucky your legs don't snap up and go up your bum, all sorts of endearing, good fun ribbing, which makes a body resilient. It's actually something I've got a bit of an observation about, that resilience is born out of the experience of coping with a little bit of friendly banter. I digress. So, terrifyingly skinny. I did well in exams that year. So in the sixth form, so last year at normal school, high school, I managed to pass my driving license at the end of the fifth form at an amazing 15, and so as a reward for that, I was allowed to drop out at work and take the car and go to the YMCA a few days a week, 2 or 3 days a week, I think. And that did help the ultra thinness become a bit less. However, what's really interesting is there are key exercises that we should all be doing because they involve such important muscles for posture and movement. So the squat, the lunge, you do say bench press, a push-up, various movements that actually are really, really important. And if they're not done properly, there's a really significant risk of injury because they're complex. They're called compound movements because a number of limbs and joints are involved. And if you do it beautifully, it's a lovely thing. It's quite challenging, and it really activates your brain, your nervous system, your balance system, and it's really good for creating strength and putting on some muscle, which is pretty essential. It's very hard to get unusually big. That's people say, I don't want to get too big. Well, they haven't even tried. Try to get really big and you'll discover it's quite tricky, and you really have to be extraordinarily focused to achieve that. So getting, good shape and tone and practical strength is certainly the goal, and as we age, those become much more important. We don't want to become feeble, a very horrible word. So if that's my sort of lead up as to where I'm coming from, what I discovered, to my surprise and delight, but more sort of like 30, 40 years after I've been at the gym, I finally discovered how to squat properly. And it makes an astounding difference to the exercise and the effectiveness. And it's kind of super simple. And it's one of those interesting things. If you've got sort of ideal limb length, so you kind of, if you folded you in half, your legs would be as long as your trunk. or from your hips to your head versus your hips to the ground would be sort of equidistant, and that's a perfect, if you like, functional strength body. You'd make a good powerlifter, you'd make a good natural athlete. You sort of look quite proportioned. The Michelangelo proportions are there. Now, so I'm not that person. I'm sort of all legs and a very short torso on top. So style is really, really important because of the, as we talked the other day, the super disadvantaged leverage of most of the muscles and joints. However, I've discovered how to do it properly, and I'm just startled by what impact it has and how I feel it in the legs and what it does in terms of my strength and stability. So it's way too complex to talk about in a quick video clip, so I'm putting together a series of 5 key exercises. That's part of my new health plan that people will be able to subscribe to, because I can see there's a real need. I see people doing it poorly in the gym, and it's not effective, and it's actually it's got a high level of potential injury, and the injury usually happens when you're step under the weight right at the beginning and you're not quite set and, if you like, mentally adjusted, and it happens towards the end of either the set or the whole exercise, where you're sort of set 5 or set 10, and you're now getting quite tired, so your form begins to disintegrate, and now you're straining, and that's good. The muscles need a certain amount of work to respond, because we've talked about the body being efficient. It doesn't want to grow muscle that's expensive to maintain in terms of fuel feeding it. If there's not enough fuel, it needs a good imperative. So if I don't get strong enough, I will get squished, and that's never a good thing. So putting together a series of video clips / information that actually really describes how to do a great exercise. There's lots of resources out there, but if I curate the good resources into a central space, that will be really helpful. So looking out for that if you're anyone that has legs and a torso, because no matter what your age, that's an essential movement that you should be doing. It keeps enormous stability in your body when we're a bit older, or just are not as strong as we want to be. If you're walking downstairs and say on a bushwalk, and the stair is quite deep, so it's a long way down, if you don't have enough strength in your legs and your thighs, as you step down, you can often find that the leg buckles, because as you drop into that sort of deeper position, you don't have enough strength. You've got strength at the top but not towards the bottom. And the same sort of thing getting out of a chair, you're not levering yourself out with your arms. Walking up hills, you've got plenty of energy in your legs to keep going, you're not sort of running out of steam. And stability is very important too, that you're not feeling unsteady on your feet and more likely to topple. And sometimes the toppling happens when you've got something in your hands, you're carrying something, and that changes the centre of gravity and your, if you like, your potential, your movement potentials, your leverages. So the more strength you've got at your core, not just talking about your abs, but actually sort of through the hip region. Abdominal strength is kind of secondary to hip strength. If you don't have hip strength, the abdominal strength is almost irrelevant, because the abdominal muscles attach to the pelvis at the front, to the pubic area, and then they are matched by the quadratus lumborum and the erector, and then all the little muscles between the joints, the multifidus, and the internal muscles, the psoas and whatnot. So those flexors and extensors must be equally balanced around the spine, and then you have good posture, and it helps you to stand up straight. So great ideas to put together a series of really precise movements, and teaching you how to set yourself up so you can do it at home, off a chair or off a small table as a resting point or a measuring point, but making an exercise out of getting in and out of a chair, so you can actually be conscious attention to repeating things properly, so you get the most out of it. So that's in the production stages, and when it's finished I'll alert you to it, and you'll tell you where to go and find it. So in the meantime, you have a great weekend. You're probably waking up to Saturday on the other side of the world. We're going to bed on Saturday. I'm thinking about Sunday already. So all the very best, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye.